All right, y'all. I'm gonna go ahead and show y'all how to make granny square pants. These right here are heart edition. Today I'm gonna show you guys how I make my granny square pants. Medium to large size pants right here. So today I'm showing y'all how I lay out my granny square pants. So I go ahead and I sew up 16 squares, two on two on each leg, 4 squares on each leg, front and back. So what I do is line them up nice and evenly. You don't have to make doesn't have to be a specific pattern, because I went ahead and just used up all of the rest of the pink that I was using. It's not in a specific order, so I just do it how I do it. And I think that is the best way, because then that makes your piece as unique as can be. Anyway, let's just jump into it. I'm going to get started with the first 4 squares at the top. So this is going to be the top. And what I do is I sew 2 together on each side. So when I start these 2, I stitch them together with finishing off the granny square. So I have to finish off 1 more to make it bigger, and then we are going to connect them together. After that, I will go ahead and start each side of the leg, meaning these 2 are the only ones that are going to be together this way. All the other ones are going to be going downwards. So once I still sew these 2 together, then we sew each one this way, going down. So that's each leg. And don't worry about the top being a little small for your little butts, because we're going to add more at the top once we finish. So that's going to be our waistline up there, depending on your size as well. So it doesn't matter if you think it's going to be too small or too big, well, at least too small.
But then I go ahead and I slip stitch, or I go ahead and single crochet at least 2 rows up and down in the back. So that's how we identify our back, because the back is usually bigger. So by adding at least 2 more rows of single crochets, or even half double crochets, we'll go ahead and get that.
Okay, y'all, so I went ahead and finished off my square. So now I'm just going to fasten it off. And most of the time when I'm doing my squares, I hide my excess yarn immediately, because going in afterwards, I just sometimes just don't even feel like doing it. So it just makes life easier if you just do it right then and there. If not, it's fine. If you want to leave your strings hanging, that's fine too. Your work is your work, and let it be yours. So I'm going to go ahead and attach the next square. I'm going to show you how I attach my granny squares together this way. So I may want to go ahead and turn my camera. I'm sorry if you guys can't see too well. I'm trying my best. This is my first tutorial, so bear with me, it will get better. All right, so this is how I attach another color. I go ahead and start with a slip knot, and I start at the corner here. If I want to go ahead and make sure my pieces are lined up, make sure you line them up together continuously to make sure that it's how you want it. So I'm going to start this way. I'm going to start this square, and I'm going to start off with the first 3 double crochets. I have my 1, chain 3, 1, that's 1, 2, and 3, and then I'm going to chain 1, and then go ahead and chain my other 1 when I attach it to the next square to the corner. And then I continue my corner with the next 3, 1, 2, and 3. Then we want to slip stitch in each space. So in each space we slip stitch, and then in each space over here we do our cluster of 3 double crochets. So this is not this is not really for beginners, so it's really for experts or intermediate if you're very familiar with already connecting your granny squares. So again, I'm gonna slip stitch in the next space, which would be here, and continue my clusters all the way around, because we are just attaching it down the middle. 1, 2, 3, and I will be back after I do that. Okay, here I have the first 2 that go at the top, and like I said, we only attach it down the middle. So this is the finish, what the finish is going to actually look like, the border. So we do borders around all of our squares. So like I said, this is the top, and we do both the same way. So now we do 2 more exactly the same way. We attach it right down the middle. So once we do that, we have our sides separated. So now we're going to go all the way down with all of our squares. So we're not attaching each square down the middle. And I'm going to show you exactly what I mean. Once I have 2 of those, once you guys finish that side, you do the other side. And then we go down this way. You see how it's separated? The pant leg, each one goes there, that goes there. So now we're going to attach it downwards this way. And then after we finish that whole thing, adding borders all around, then we come back and then we slip stitch or single crochet. And I'm going to show you guys exactly what I mean when we get to that point. But yeah. All right, y'all, so there you have it. I have my 4 squares going straight down. I want to show you this just so you can have an idea of exactly what I was talking about. Like, do not connect each side to each other. So that's the first side. That's the first 4. I have 3 more to go to attach it down to the other side. Remember, there's a back and a front. So we continue to do this leg. I decided to do some of my hearts upside down, so just so it gives it a little all right, y'all, I'm back. I finally finished both sides of my pants. I went ahead and changed up the color because I ran out of this color and I was left with this light pink, but it's fine because they're gonna be cute anyways and give it its own look. But so now that we have both sides of the pants, right? I'll show you exactly what it looks like. To give you a visual, just like pants, just squares separated. So that's what it's gonna look like. That's from there. Then we make our own waistline. So we make 2. We have 2 of these. for both sides, front and back. And now what we're gonna do is slip stitch all down the middle. But before we slip stitch, we're going to determine which one we want to be the front, which one we want to be the back. So I think I'm going to make this the front and the other one the back. So with the back side, I'm going to add two single rows. So I'm going to do a single stitch in a single crochet in every stitch down, and then bring it back up. So I'm going to do 2 rows on both sides. That's going to be the back. This lets you widen the back, and afterwards we're going to do the waistline, and I'm going to show you how that's done. So once we do our single crochets all the way down 2 more rows, I'm going to show you how, and then come back and reattach. Okay, so I have the start of my first 2 rows. Now I have to go ahead and get my other color so I can finish. But just to see how it looks, it does sharpen up your edges, and it does make it easier to attach. The difference of how the single crochets makes it look much neater. So I'm back, and I am finally ready to attach the pin. Alright, so I'm gonna go ahead and start from the bottom and attach. I'm gonna go ahead and go to the side. The middle gets attached to single crochets or slip stitching together. And very important thing I forgot to add in about the waistline. So when we are doing the waistline, we want to start decreasing, and I went ahead and I just did mine. I'm sorry I skipped that part, but I'm walking through it as easy as I can. So like I said, when we start going around our waistline, we want to start decreasing. Now I don't have a specific number of how many times I decrease, but I at least did every 4 decrease, like 1 2 3 4 decrease, 1 2 3 4 decrease, or every 1 2. It depends on your waist and how snatched you actually want it, and how small you actually want it, and how you want it shaped. But in the midst of doing that, at least do every other row of regular half double crochets is what I use to do my waistline. And so when I actually have that snatched part and to where I want it snatched, and then I'm gonna go ahead and do my ribbing, which is a little bit different than just going around. Because when we do the ribbing, it looks like this. So I probably did about 4 or 5 stitches up for the ribbing, so it makes it a little higher. So these are my row of double crochets from here to here, and this the remaining is my ribbing. So once I have the amount, which is about 5 rows going up of half double crochets, I already have 1 2 3 4, so I'm gonna go 1 more row, and then I'm gonna continue with my ribbing. So I'm also gonna continue to decrease at least 4 to 5 more times. That way it comes in a little more. And then once that's in, you'll have that shape. Now you can see if we're starting to shape. See? So it's not just square, It actually gives you shape. So like I said, I'm gonna do about 1 or 2 more rows. Then I'm gonna go ahead and continue with my ribbing. Also, when we do our ribbing, that also adds a bit more decreasing, if that makes sense. It gives it more shape also. And then when we add a drawstring, you'll be able to just tighten it when you want to. But that's how it's looking so far. See what I mean? It makes a big difference when you decrease. You have to remember to decrease, because then it's going to be very, very wide at the top. You see how it's going over like my waistline? So when I start to decrease, it will be the same size. Okay, so I have everything attached. Now that I have everything attached, hopefully you guys can see it very well. So again, I'm just gonna run you through everything that I did, which was 16 squares, 8 squares on each side, and I attached the sides going down. I went ahead and attached my middle part this way to give you a better view of what it looks like. So I just single crochet. I slip stitch all around. So I just came from the bottom and came all the way around and down, and again on this side. For the ribbing, for our waistline, I have 2 extra rows in the back, and from our first 2 rows and every other row, we're going to decrease. Now you either decrease to your waist size, or you're decreasing until you feel it however it is comfortable. So you see how when we have these 4 squares, it comes out more. So us decreasing upon the waistline is going to make it fit to your sizing or your style. So the pants are basically done. And let's get a full view of what we have. With the waistline, and when we decrease, we want to make sure that we can still put the pants on. Now, since this doesn't really stretch, it doesn't give you much stretch, it's going to be a little difficult to get it up on your waist if you have a butt that pokes out like mine. So see how tight this is, because I had to cinch my waistline. I have to bring it up nice and carefully.
4, 3, 60. Waistline.